You know, Jonathan, it's been really, if you look at the city, north and east of the city is where we've been seeing scenes like this, where that ice and sleet have begun to accumulate. And so it's been covering the roads. This is over toward Athens. It's University of Georgia right there. It's across the street, Chick-fil-A, where a lot of kids get a chance to go out and get some lunch and before they go back to class. Don't have to worry about that tomorrow. Don't have to worry about it today either. But we've been seeing cars just kind of steadily roll down as well. And you can see the tracks in the roadways there and everything else that hasn't been tracked on, really iced over, even on top of the roofs there. See that car right there? Going right on by there. No doubt some ice on the trees and everything else. Now, the trees holding steady, at least for now. Also, power is on here, as we can see. And so we'll continue to watch that. Now, you're probably thinking, okay, well, the worst of it is over. A lot of precipitation is gone. But really, once the winds really start to pick up and that colder air starts to get in here, that's where we could see really some more effects, because that's going to create that wind blowing around and also those power lines that have ice on them to bang together a little bit, and that could cause them to fall. Also, weak trees that may have ice on them, once that wind starts to blow, could topple over it. That could fall on power lines. So I wouldn't be too excited as of yet, even though a lot of the precipitation has begun to let up just a little bit. Can't tell if it's raining right here right now, but you can see how the road's already covered in a lot of spots. Just outside our window, a lot of the rain, again, has begun to subside. Wetness on the roadways. The wind is kicking around a little bit, which is why our camera here is shaking. But a lot of cars have been able to navigate at least this curve or this part of I-85, and so not doing too bad. We've been focused on this one because it is an elevated surface. You can see the bridge there, and that air kind of gets around the bridge, right? You got it underneath and on top, and typically that would be one of the areas that would lose its heating very rapidly, and so you can see some freezing there first before you get to some of the other areas of the roads that's kind of insulated by the ground. Now, looking at the precipitation now, you can see how it begins to taper off a little bit. We're looking at just a few isolated spots left over. Some sleet. Again, it has been up here to the north of the city and then over toward the east, where you've been seeing this purple kind of mixing in here. So northern parts of Hall County over toward Banks County into the Athens area, that's where we've been seeing that sleet begin to mix in, and it has been, again, very thick, to say the least. And so we've been seeing pictures of that being on the ground. And so we've been watching that. But over here to the west, it's been mainly all rain, especially all the way up into Fanning and Gilmer County has been on the rainy side as well. Still raining up there right now where the temperatures are a little bit warmer. But over here toward Mossy Creek and Gainesville, you still have some sleet and freezing rain still reaching the ground. Over toward Juneau as well, Lumpkin County. And it's in these areas that we thought would be the higher totals, and that's coming to fruition right there. And so some of our worst impacts will be up here to the far northeast as it's continuing to come down. And if that wedge holds on with heavier rain that's going to push in as we head into the afternoon, that could still be the case for those areas. Maybe even as far south as Atlanta. Will the wedge hold on there? We'll wait and see. Our models say that it probably will erode by then, and we'll just get that wet weather. You can see over here toward the west, we're looking at some of that rain starting to form a nice little line here where we'll start to see some thunderstorms, especially down to the south. Some of our southern counties and towns may experience that. Maybe some of those thunderstorms producing some winds up to about 58, maybe 60 miles per hour, so we'll have to watch out for that. Looking at the temperatures right now, you can see we're down into the 20s in places like Athens and Gainesville, two of the spots where we have reporters and have seen that ice on the roadways and on the sidewalks down there. Covington over here toward the east, down to 30. Edenton as well. Atlanta right at 32 degrees. So far, we've been seeing reports of about 1/10 of an inch of ice around the city at least. Up to the north into Marietta, where Ariana is, we haven't seen much in the way of ice, at least on the ground, but she said on the higher elevations, higher elevated surfaces like trees and some of the light posts there, and even her video equipment, seeing some freezing there. So no doubt some freezing rain there. And then over toward Carrollton, again, it has been all on the liquid side. Now, looking at the road temperatures so far, looking at over toward 400 right along Beaufort Highway, about 30 degrees as far as the road temperature goes, and then 31 up here toward Route 75. Everywhere else has been above the freezing mark there, which is a good sign for us as well, so we'll take that. No doubt, no doubt. Ice warning will last until Monday. We're looking at that around 10 o'clock in the morning, where temperatures should begin to rise up above freezing. We'll get some sunshine in, and so hopefully things will continue to melt. The problem with the melting is that cold air that will be in place, so later on this afternoon, there could be some refreezing, certainly tonight and into tomorrow morning. Let's go over to Nicole now, get some more on our forecast.
Thanks, Chesley. Yes, that freezing rain kind of winding down in a lot of spots as we work in some drier air. And we're going to be paying very close attention through the rest of the day to temperatures across North Georgia, because that, of course, has a big impact on what's falling from the sky. Now, up towards the northeast of the city, it's likely temperatures will hover right around freezing, if not below freezing, even into the early afternoon. So as we go throughout the next couple of hours, we'll continue to see at least a little bit of additional freezing rain or sleet. Notice, though, it's not nearly as widespread as what's been taking place through the overnight hours. Some warmer air tries to work in from the southwest, and I think it will likely be successful at kind of eroding away this wedge, at least through metro Atlanta, and allowing for temperatures to climb back up above freezing before our next round of more widespread and potentially very heavy rain arrives later this afternoon. Notice up towards the northeast of the city, where there's already good sleet and ice accumulation, temperatures are still not above freezing at this point. This line of showers and storms will swing through into this afternoon and evening, arriving in metro Atlanta likely sometime between about 1 o'clock this afternoon and 4 o'clock this evening. We will have heavy rain associated with it. It'll move through pretty quickly, leaving maybe a couple isolated showers, and it actually does come with a low end risk for severe weather down towards the south. Now, there's a level 1 threat, very low risk for our far southern counties into Pike, Lamar, Upson, as well as portions of Troup and Meriwether. The higher severe weather threat is going to be down to our south. But this brief changeover from freezing rainfall to rain may help us out in the long run to avoid much of any ice accumulation through metro Atlanta and kind of give us a little bit of relief in locations where roads rapidly deteriorated overnight. Now, I've got to say that colder air is going to move in tonight and into tomorrow morning. So overnight tonight, the Arctic air arrives from the north. Temperatures fall down into the teens and the 20s. By Tuesday morning, we're in the low teens as well as the single digits in some spots. And this is important for a number of reasons. Number one is that anyone who did lose power, if you're still without power by tonight and tomorrow morning, we're dealing with even more bitter cold air. Secondly, anything that's left on the roads, including just puddles of water, will refreeze overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. So you'll wake up tomorrow morning to sunshine and cold air and think everything looks great, but there could still be areas of ice and even areas of black ice. So perhaps even if your conditions today get a little bit better, you see less ice, it will refreeze tonight and into tomorrow morning in locations where that water doesn't have a chance to evaporate or kind of get blown away. Our low temperatures tomorrow morning will be mostly in the teens and the 20s, but winds are still going to be pretty breezy at that point. So we do have a cold weather advisory in place through early tomorrow morning.